Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we have the Prussian. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. You guys know I'm terrible at that. But the German legendary tier battleship, and this thing is awesome. I was very shocked about it. Between this and Hindenburg, I don't know what they did, but they're like, we're gonna give the Germans two really powerful ships this update, and then everybody have at it. Anyway, guys, let's take a look at the commander. We're using Prince Heinrich. Honestly, whatever accuracy commander you're going with would work just fine. In fact, the normal accuracy commander. Let's see if we can find it. Von Hipper would be very good because of that secondary trait of having a little bit of gun range. This does have a little bit of range on the secondaries, but um, secondaries aren't really worth it. I'll explain that here in a minute. So we are using Colorado. And D. Ravel is our inspirations, flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, master mechanic, and fight fire with fire. Now, for your upgrades, aiming systems mod 1, prop mod 2, and concealment in the third slot as always, along with main battery mod 3. And if you want, you can upgrade as you can see on the bottom of your screen, depending on what platform you are on. So with this, your consumables, you get 5 pretty solid heals. They're not crazy good, but they are solid. And you get 7 observation planes. Now, I have never used more than like 4 of these, I don't believe. So I don't know why they give 7 with that long of a reload time. That's just me. Not sure. Also, you get 2 sonars. That are 6 kilometers. They are good sonars. If you guys don't know, this seems to be a GK with 18-inch guns, by the way. An incredible 18-inch guns. We'll get into that here in a second. Um, now, as you guys can see here, 95,000 hit points. You got a lot of health. And this is a very tanky ship. There are not much bad about this ship, and we'll talk about it here in a second. But the standout thing, again, like the Hindenburg, is the guns. You have 8 18-inch guns. And thank the Lord they're not 18.1 Yamamoto guns that overmatch everything in the game, because this thing would be the most destructive force this thing as a game has ever seen if it could overmatch everything with the accuracy it has. Now, these guns, almost out to 20 kilometers, they reload in 19 seconds, guys. And why is that important? Because it catches people off guard. For example, this player, as you guys know, Spartan Elite, very good player, also happens to be in a ship he knows very well in Montana. And I have hit him once from the center of the map. And just to show you guys how quick this reload is, this completely catches him off guard. You can see I've taken a chunk out of him, and before he's able to angle, this is no fault of his own. He just, he's a great player. I think we all know that. And before he's able to angle, I'm reloaded again because of battleship rudders. And also you can see that I've hit 6 of my 8 shells on my first salvo, right? And yeah, I did get a little bit unlucky with getting a citadel, but as you can see here, you can see he's starting to angle, and we do hit him with 7 of 8 on the second salvo. Now, obviously, I am eating a bunch of torpedoes here, but I want to be clear, Spartan is a good player and just happened to get caught. And this ship really catches people off guard with this accuracy and this reload on 18-inch guns. It's absolutely crazy. But we've had some bad teammates, as you can see. 7 minutes in, everybody's essentially dead already. So having that good of a reload, right, a sub 20 reload, on a battleship with 18-inch guns that hits that accurate. And I'm not kidding you, that's not abnormal for this ship. It's not like them were the craziest accurate salvos in the entire ship, right? Like I've had much better with this thing. Um, it really catches battleships off guard and they can't even react to it. It's like the biggest thing I think to take away from this. If you catch somebody broadside, you get another salvo before they even really know what's going on. Also, the 180 turn time, pretty solid. The HE, okay fire chance, but the damage is atrocious, really. But the AP damage at almost 17,000, I think that's top in the game. I could be wrong on that. But man, when you hit people, they feel it. And I mean it. It is pretty crazy. Now, secondaries, you have the same secondaries as a GK, but they are shorter range. Now, I want to be very clear. I did build into secondaries for about 7 matches, and it completely wrecked the stats of the ship. However, they're not. It's not worth building into in legendary tier. These main guns are so good on this ship that you should be focused on that, not the secondaries. If you're gonna do secondaries, do GK, or even better yet, Schleflin. Um, don't waste your time on these secondaries. They look enticing and they're not terrible, but at 9.5 kilometers at legendary tier, you're not doing much. In fact, in the matches I built into secondary tier, I think my best game was like 50K. Like I really wrecked the stats on my ship with this, trying to build it. I was trying to be funny and get you guys a secondary one uh, with this ship, and it did not work out. AA defense, actually much better than I thought, and that's because almost all of it is out at distance. I was actually surprised on how good this AA is. I shot down 33 planes from a midway and survived. Okay, so not a Hakalugi, Japanese carrier that dumps planes everywhere. You can shred them, but a midway, which to shoot 33 midway planes down, pretty solid, right? So this is a pretty good AA, and it caught me off guard on how decent it was because it is German. Maneuverability. This is the one thing I will talk about. You do not, like GK, you do not want to start making huge turns. The rudder is terrible, and in fact, this is one time where I would almost consider taking the rudder instead of propulsion mod. And I do want to be clear about that to really help with that rudder to get that thing to turn because not only that, your turning circle is not ideal. At 1,000 kilometers and a 20-second rudder is going to leave you open and susceptible to um, just people wrecking you in a turn, especially if you come against another Prussian or Prussian that a good player is in, where they get that quick reload. Before you know it, you can be in a world of hurt with this ship if you're not careful. I feel like this is a ship that you want to keep moving in and you want to flank with it because the speed is solid on this thing for what it is. Concealment 13.9, it's pretty atrocious, but it is a battleship. You're not sneaking up on a dead moose in open water. Stats. I'm going to be very clear. I had like 7 or 8 games in secondaries, so these stats are absolutely destroyed to what this thing actually is. My main gun accuracy before I built into the secondaries for the matches was over 52%. And you can see, even in the match I'm going to showcase, it's long distance accuracy too. It's not because I'm up close and personal. And as you guys know, I shoot destroyers all the time. And outside of them secondary games where I was trying to, get into a position, use my secondaries, this ship is mighty accurate. I mean, very accurate. And the ship as a whole is incredibly powerful. I would be really shocked myself personally. I don't know if it just fits my playstyle well, but there is absolutely this thing should get nerfed. um, This is even more powerful, I feel, than the Hindenburg because it's also very tough. But anyways, you can see even with them really bad secondary games in here, still averaging 131. I was actually averaging I think it was 161 a game, so 160,000 a game before them secondary games. That wrecked my stats. And I was not helpful to my team. So if you were in one of them games, I am very sorry, guys. I was trying to have some fun with this ship, and I really hurt my team in them matches because I think my win rate was over 70%, which is pretty solid in a battleship. And I think I was averaging 160 some thousand per game. So statistically, if you go off of them numbers, this would easily be the one of the most powerful ships in the game. Um, this is a ship I probably will not play much after this because it is that powerful. You guys know a lot of times I don't play the really powerful ships too often, but the main gun accuracy over 50%, 160,000 damage a game. You guys can see the highest battle achievements there. The aircraft destroyed at 33, that was on a midway, and that was not too long ago. So, as you can see here, armory, um, or the armor, sorry. This is incredibly tanky. Now, you have some not ideal firing angles. If you're not careful, you can get too broadside and get chunked, and you got a big superstructure. Outside of that, that is it. I mean, you can essentially bow tank Yamas because of this the extended belt. I believe, if we look here, it's 50. Oh, it's 60. Oh, wow, 60 and 120. Yeah, so, and you only have that little sliver of 32 that I can assure you most Yamas are not going to get through, okay? So this is incredibly tanky. Uh, and like I said, the only thing, if you let yourself get too broadside, which is a weakness of any ship, and you maybe get some HE spam into superstructure. Outside of that, this thing is incredibly tanky. And in my opinion, one of the best ships in the entire game. In fact, this is one of the games to make you guys laugh a little bit before we get into our match. You guys remember I just put out that video called 30 Shells of Fury where we did like 180,000 damage in Constellation. Well, this is Prussian with 30 shells, or 31 shells, 10 citadels. Things absolutely accurate as crap most of the time. And super powerful. You guys might see this match later down the road, but it was a very quick match. I believe that ended on points. I can't remember now, but I only got 30 shells, so basically we wiped out our side and it was over. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are unshattered, okay? And I want to be very clear, guys. I don't know what other people are saying about this ship. The Prussian or Prussian, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm not good with that, but I'm not sure what other people are saying about this ship. But this has got to be one of the in my opinion, this is the best ship at the legendary tier. The best battleship, I should say, at the tier. This is, in my opinion, even more broken than BA Montana. If I will probably not be playing this ship a whole lot and after this, you guys, because it is that crazy. So I know for people that said stats, oh, that's not that crazy. But before I built into the secondaries and did terrible doing that like a moron, I was winning at a 70% rate with no divisions in a battleship with over 50% accuracy and averaging 160, 170,000 damage per game. It is absolutely crazy broken. Like I said, don't know what other people are saying, but when you have this type of accuracy As you can see here, we're unshattered and our teammates are in the middle, so we're not getting spotting. But you're going to see the accuracy that I get is absolutely, like there is a lot of times where you hit 6 or 7 of 8 shells at huge range, right? Definitely, in my opinion, the most accurate German ship in the game. It is absolutely gnarly. Or one of the most accurate ships in the game for sure. Definitely up there. But anyway, guys, this ship excels at flanking, and that's the one thing I wanted to talk about in this video. So here you're gonna see we're taking shots. There's a Minnesota out at 17 kilometers. We're gonna take a shot. Not even a good shot. We're just gonna shoot, point and shoot. This is essentially the new Yamamoto of old. Look, 6 shells. Right? I didn't do nothing fancy. 6 shells. There's the defense. 14 kilometers. We're gonna just guess, right? We're just gonna guess where he's at. It's gonna be a pretty solid guess where he's gonna back up. We hit 5 of 8 shells. If I had aimed better, it probably would have been better. Now, this is where you can see I was actually on the phone in this match, believe it or not. I was not paying attention. You'll see I did not notice that destroyer right below me, and you would have known I would have taken that shot every time, right? There's a Z-52 right there, and you're going to see, oh, look, I realize it. And I don't normally play on the phone, guys, while I'm on the phone, but as we Citadel Yamamoto. But it was an important phone call, and it happened after the start of the match. So I'm going to play pretty brainlessly from this point on. And I threw away probably one of the better matches I could have had. Had I murdered these guys quicker and moved on to the other side, because this ship does have the speed. Like I said, very good at flanking. Defense is we hit him once already pretty well. Why not throw another salvo out? I'm on the border. I'm trying to get off of the border here. I don't like to play on the border here, guys, but obviously was not fully paying attention. So I ran into the border like a moron. This is not something you can do in defense. He did a good job stopping on my first salvo. Not going to do as well on the second salvo as we dev strike him. Do you guys see the problem with this ship? It is so powerful. Like I said, don't know what anybody else is saying about it, but having played 30 games in it, now granted some of them were secondary games, and I would not play this ship as secondary. It's just not effective, in my opinion. It is very good. Like I said, pretty overpowered, in my opinion. See, Z-52. We're actually going to take a shot here. Now, you can see where we aimed and where the Z-52 dies. We were going to hit some of them shells, right? Probably 3 of them, at least 2. So, yeah, pretty accurate even on destroyers at range. Now, Minnesota, solid little hit on us. We're doing our best to angle. And we're kind of doing the warship wiggle where we put our butt out there to get our back turrets out. But you gotta be careful. It's the only thing with this ship is the firing angle of that, the rear turrets, not ideal, right? So you want to be careful. You want to shoot and then pull your butt back in behind you a little bit. There is Montana. As you can see, we have slowed down to try to dodge some shells. The one thing I will say, too, about this is it does seem like the turrets get knocked out a lot on this ship. I don't know if I just had very bad luck with it, but I had, in my 30 games, I probably had 4 or 5 times where my turrets were permanently disabled in this thing. Like I said, I do believe this was the, as we get our high caliber, I do believe this was the first game I had in this ship. I'm pretty sure, actually. Now, as you can see here, we get our high caliber. And this match is not going to be a very long one. And had I been paying attention more in this game, this probably would have been a better game even yet than what it ended up being. So we do have help with our teammates here. But even the Minnesota or Montana here, he's going to turn out. But pretty decent look at Salvo. We only get 6 shells out on that first one, and we hit 5, right? So, you know, and again, hitting 6 of 8 shells at range. It's very, very consistent in my opinion. And I wish I hadn't wrecked my stats on this thing, building into the secondaries like I did. Just to showcase how incredible the stats were just as a normal accuracy build. It was pretty nuts. You know, front 4 guns, we hit 3 of 4, right? So, again, it's very consistent on what we're talking about. Now we switch over to HE. Montana's have been hit a lot in the superstructure, so we're going to try to get some fires he's kiting away. And again, 2 of 4 shells at range, like hitting half. Like, this thing is very, very accurate. Like, I don't know what the accuracy stats are on it for like the Sigma and whatnot, but its dispersion is very solid. Even the grouping seems to be not too bad, but in particular, dispersion seems really good to me. So, difference being is dispersion of not the dispersion of it not spreading out is pretty good. There is our probably the worst salvo I've seen come out of that ship. We hit 2 of 8 shells at 17 kilometers, and he's driving away. So that's about the worst you're gonna see. Also, we see Yamato is over here too. We're gonna take a shot. That was actually kind of low end into the water, but we get 3 of 4 on our front turrets. And we shot a little bit low on our rear turrets, so we only hit 1 on. We kind of aimed in the water at Yamato. Stalingrad here. I'm sorry, dude. It's not fair to you, but we're going to hit 3 out of 4 on our first set. And on our second set, we're going to hit 3 out of 4 again with 2 citadels. You guys see how powerful this ship is. This game I was on the phone not paying attention, and we could have easily broke 300k if I was paying attention and getting to that other side to help out faster. As you can see, you know, what was that? I think 268,000 in like 7 minutes in this thing. Pretty gnarly. Like I said, for those of you guys played this ship, let me know what you guys think as well. Am I just crazy, or is this thing just absolutely nuts? This and the Hindenburg that just came out too. I don't know what they were doing with the Germans, but they wanted to give the Germans 2 incredibly great ships, and that's what they did. But as you can see, solid game. Top of the leaderboard, helping our team win. In my opinion, a very, very good ship, and it's very good at flanking and very accurate at range. Just don't go broadside, guys. That's all you got to do. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time, folks.